What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, as well as a very sleepy and adorable Luca. And we're returning to Teenage Head's album, Frantic City, 1980. Thank you, as always, to Yvonne. And the next track is Let's Shake. So it's a request, an entreaty, maybe a command. I should point out shake, and I suppose it depends on what era you're in and what place you're at as well, which is to say, the verb shake has some different meanings. It can mean to leave quickly. It, of course, can mean a type of dance. I suppose it could mean shaking hands, which is to say formalizing an agreement about something. So I imagine, or at least I hypothesize, that leaving quickly is what I see as the most likely meaning here, but obviously it might not be that, so I'll try to catch what I can on a first listen. You are ridiculous, Luca. This is Teenage Head. The track is Let's Shake, and it's from their 1980 album, Frantic City. I love the end of that as the guitar finally really started jamming, which is to say the electric chords in the latter half, they started very simply just one chord, almost like comically. And indeed, I think a lot of the song, from what I caught lyrically, which was not everything, there's a lot of comedy going on here, but yeah, it was almost sort of simply and very singularly playing these chord moments, and then it didn't really start jamming away like a more typical rock and roll track until the very end. And yeah, I'd say overall sonically it has a bit of that throwback, 50s, 60s rock and roll sound, maybe a bit of rockabilly in there. But yes, definitely a traditional rock and roll type of feel. And then lyrically, it's interesting. I think one, the primary meaning of Let's Shake is dancing. And I think he's referring to the ability or not of the person being addressed to dance. But I did hear a line early on, is something about like move your ass, I think. So that again could be shake and a like, let's get going, let's get moving. Now that doesn't mean leaving necessarily. That can be starting to dance. So yeah, I feel like most fundamentally the meaning of shake here is dance and doing a particular type of dance, which again in throwback rock and roll is very much a thing where there's whether it's the boogie woogie or the shake rattle and roll and so on, it's like a specific type of dance, not just dancing in general. So I think maybe that's happening here. But it sounds like there's insults towards someone, maybe the person being addressed directly. There's something about like, like you're fat and ugly and where'd you get those big pants or whatever. So I feel like there's some comedic critiques that the narrator is issuing. I just don't know if it's toward the person he's talking to directly or if it's toward another person and he's saying like don't be like that, so get up and dance and don't be fat and ugly and so on. So again, I think it sounds like the lyrics aren't something to be taken overly seriously, but it's a bit of a having fun and maybe paying homage to an older style rock and roll tune. So yeah, another fun one, another engaging one. As I said, I especially liked the last, 10 or 15 seconds when the guitar really got going, and there were some different guitar types along the way. I did mention the moment the track started, that deep bass groove really caught my ear. So yeah, some different instrumental parts that were compelling and caught my attention over the course of the track. But yeah, let me know what you think of this one, and Luca and I will see you next time. Peace.